that everything that we see with this SJW thing is a war of attrition. And the war of attrition is something like you can, like I said, three ways that you can win a war. You can blitz out and all out attack and wipe them out. You can have a battle to where somebody doesn't want to fight, so they give up, and then you have like battles that's a war of attrition where you might fight for years and just trying to wear them down, or you block off their access to supplies or resources so that they are starved out or not getting their full accounted for what they're looking for, and they're and that's what you call a war of attrition. If you can outlast them, trying to outlast them. It's not an all-out blitz, and sometimes it can be a war. Can be a psychological war. Something like what the Cold War is like. And that's what I think is going on with this war of attrition. You see these SJWs are pushing all of this social justice stuff in everything. It's not just them, it's the corporations that's backing them. Because with all of this stuff in the media, this is corporate, and you can also say governmental, because the corporate and governmental work hand in hand, because you know that women's the women's movement is of women are fighting for some kind of equity, and and what they're wanting is for people to basically give them something without the effort. And what they're working, because they say that they deserve it. And from what it looks like, they're looking for something for nothing. And damn, my mouth is parched. Okay, so in many ways, I'm not saying those who deserve what they've worked for, but a lot of women today seem to be working for something to be given to them. And over time, you've seen our children are being coming up weaker and weaker with more and more mental issues and everything. Mental and obsessive compulsions and all kinds of things. So then you see a complaint against these weaker people. They don't want to be with these weaker type of men. And then the women, because fathers help to guide children. They keep, the saying is out there, they keep young women off of the poles and young men out of prison. So these weaker men and women are coming up with weaker mindsets. And that's what this war of attrition is going to allow for weaker people to be more easily manipulated psychologically. Because if you're not a psychologically sound individual, then you are subject to psychological bombardment. And you're being psychologically attacked all the time. There's commercials that's always trying to tell you what to buy. There's TV and movies who are always basically in the storytelling trying to tell you what type of person to be. They try to tell you and show you who's good and who's bad. So psychologically, you're always being taught from school, church. Everything is psychologically telling you how to act, who you should be, and who you should not be. And nowadays, this women's movement is a war of attrition telling you that you have to be this type of man and make allowances for this type of woman. So I believe that everything that we're seeing today, except especially with this TV and movie things, is a war of attrition. We used to see strong imagery in movies. Now we're seeing a lot more weak imagery in movies. So before they were telling men to be strong, and women took it that they were telling women to be demure and stayed in the corner, even though you had strong women fighting fights in movies. Even Princess Leia and well, there's a lot of movies, Coffee and other movies like that from back in the 70s. And I've always seen movies with strong imagery of women and men. So we've had a shift nowadays where the war of attrition, I believe they know that they was never intent. The gender war was never meant to be won outright. What I believe is happening is they've bombarded us with so much of this drastic, over the top imagery and depictions is that now we're so tired of seeing it. When they let ease up, they're still going to be able to give you weak depictions, weak ideologies. But as long as people are getting the action and stuff, like you see in a lot of movies today, they're still going to be able to insult you on the down low. They're still going to be able to insult you on the DL while saying in the background, just like they say in this Batman movie. I've seen a review where I think his name is Ryan Cannell or something like that. He said that all of the, and I've seen that a lot. And I'm a black man, so that if I'm saying I notice it, I know I'm going to get those types of comments that say that I hate myself. But I've seen it's all men. It's not just white men, but they're doing it a lot with white men and black men. But they should have these weak imagery of, or all white men is bad and all other nationalities, especially black ones now, are good, or the imagery of good. And as long as they got the explosions and all of the other stuff that they that people want to see, people are gonna allow for that bad imagery because we're tired of seeing all of this bad imagery all of this time. Now, when they ease up, we're still gonna get low key insults, but we're going to be more accepting of it because we just want to be entertained. And that's what's happening right now. I believe that in movies like Batman, Dune, or The Batman and Dune, we're seeing these extremely skinny, frail men. And that's that war of attrition. If you win, if you gain ground, you still win. If you gain ground in a situation, then you still win. So that's what I believe this war of attrition is. I believe that they're going to ease up with the bad imagery in movies and TV, but they're still going to insult you on the down low. Because just as long as they keep, because they've hit you with so much bad stuff for so many years. When they ease up on it, you're gonna be more accepting of the bad imagery because these people can't tell a quality story.